right, let's get straight into it, man. Talk about Let God Sort Them Out. The new Clipse album looking like a success. Definitely looking like a success, man. Before I even get into the track listing and everything, I had to give a big shout out to the Clipse, man. They they put together a very cohesive album. Very cohesive album. And it's not nothing above what they normally do. It's not nothing out of the range of what they usually perform on their older tracks. So it's very cohesive with they what would I say, they timeline. You know what I'm saying? Very good album. But let's get to the first track, Birds Don't Sing. This first track is a ode to Malice's and Pusha T's parents, basically explaining how they became dope dealers and what their parents really thought about them when they became dope dealers. So when they did this song, the production is kind of like opera housey, very choiry. A lot of tracks on this album has got that same format going on. But this one has like a very cinematic opening to it. You know what I'm saying? Very cinematic. I like the way they did it. Very good storytelling. And what we get from Malice on here through his verse is a lot of that. He gets the more retrospective outlook compared to Pusha T. Pusha T sounds like he's still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But Malice does a good job of actually explaining like how he changed. Because I know most people think he's a very religious person. Well, they know he's a very religious person. But he shows up on this track for sure. I'll give this track probably like a 9 out of 10. Production's amazing. And another thing that is very interesting about this track, it's called Birds Don't Sing. Do y'all remember it was either an album or a song by Travis Scott called Birds Sing Brian McKnight? I thought that was a very good subtle jab. Very good subtle jab to that one. But let's move on. The next track is Chains and Whips. Chains and Whips is one of the best songs on the whole album for numerous reasons. The beat itself, the production with the beat, is like a Watch the Throne, Otis type vibe with Jay-Z and Kanye West. And I think that's kind of crazy. They did that here too. Very spot on, bro, with the production. Still cohesive from the first track to the second track and moving on to this one. And Pusha T does his thing on there. Lyrics is cohesive. The Fire, Malice, he does his thing on here. But the obvious, Kendrick Lamar with a legendary verse to drop on here. A legendary verse to drop on this motherfucker. He just selling it up, man. He just selling it up. For real. He's cementing himself as one of the greatest MCs our generation has ever seen. For sure. He's really locking it in, man. He's really locking it in. And I heard he did this verse either mid-battle with Drake or post-battle with Drake. And if he did this verse in that time span, the man is a maniac. The man is a maniac, bro. To say the least, the man's a maniac. For real. Kudos. 10 out of 10 track, definitely. Chains and Whips. Let's get to the next one. POV. All right, this one right here is a track where Pusha T really shows his ability to be very hypnotic in his verses, bro. Like the way his palindromes and his cadences is in this track, it's like, here's one of them. POV, kilos in my Maybach. Take Amtrak down south and she flies back. It's like he keeps that same pattern. I'm not even doing it justice the way he said it on there. Y'all gotta go listen to it. It's POV. He got this like very melodic cadence that just be like, you gotta hear it, man. For real, for real. Pusha T does his damn thing on here, for real, for real. And then the feature on this one is with Tyler the Creator. And I'm gonna say this about about your boy Tyler, man. He sound like he was waiting his whole life to say my homeboy Pusha T so dope for me. He sound like he waited his whole life to say my boy Pusha T so dope for me. For real, for real. It's a very, very good verse from Tyler the Creator. Definitely give him his kudos on there. He didn't talk about nothing out of the ordinary of what he normally does. And he left all the dope talk to referencing like Pusha T. You know what I'm saying? He's very aware. He's very socially aware of who he is and who he's rapping with. So, very good track. I say this one is a 9.5 out of 10 for sure, for sure. Malice does his thing too. He's kind of got like a middle ground verse. It keeps everything cohesive, nothing too spectacular, nothing too underwhelming to take away from the energy of the actual song. And that leads us into the So Be It. If y'all don't know, I did a review on the So Be It song already. So if y'all want to know my point of view of this song right here, click the video. I'll probably throw it somewhere right there. My So Be It review. You check that out and y'all can hear my exact point of view on the So Be It track right there. And then before I move on, let me know in the comments if Malice was dissing Jim Jones and So Be It. Let me know if Malice was dissing Jim Jones on his verse, because I've been hearing that a lot and I wasn't really catching the jabs, the bird talk, we all parrots. He said you can catch us in Paris, and Jim Jones had like a diss record, or he said some words about Malice, mention these type of references as well. And I want to know, was he dissing Jim Jones on this record? Cause I heard the Travis Scott subtle disses on Pusha T at the end. We, like I said, look at the video. But was Malice dissing Jim Jones on this too? Let me know. Let me know. So the next one, hold on, is Ace Trumpets. Ace Trumpets is one of those records where Pusha T does the melodic thing again. He has this hypnotic vibe on this one too, and the beat has like how do I reference it? He has like an ice stage in a video game on a boss level type thing going on, and his first bars on the song is ballerinas doing pirouettes inside of my snow globe. And when you hear the beat, it matches very cohesively with the words that he's saying in the track, bro. For real, like I don't know how they sync the song so well, but this is what makes this album so cold, bro. It give you a vibe while he talking. It's not too much like double entendres, and it's a lot of those, but it's like almost straight in your face that anybody could get it. Anybody could get it if you know a little bit about hip hop, a little bit about wordplay and palindromes and metaphors and stuff like that. You'll pick up on this. You'll pick up on this. But he does something to where he sets you right inside of the vibe of where he wants you to be. And for real, when he makes these beats, he got great chemistry with these boys. He got great chemistry with these boys. He knows how to put it all the way together. He knows how to put it all the way together. This shit, you gotta listen to it, man. You really gotta listen to it. And let me know. After you listen to the whole album, let me know if you get what I'm saying on Ace Trumpets. But definitely an 8.5 out of 10 for the Ace trumpets. And let's go to All Things Considered, the next track. Now this track is interesting, and it get kind of tricky. The beat, all the beats on this whole album are phenomenal. Phenomenal. This beat right here gives me that Terminator mixed with Jason Voorhees type vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's like it got like that 90s Contra soundtrack to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you almost getting ready for a big ass battle. You know what I'm saying? It's very cohesive. All the beats on here are so cohesive, man. Pharrell Williams is a genius when it comes to making cohesiveness with his beat selection. But here's where it gets tricky. The verses from Malice and Pusha T, they're good. They're dope. They're fire as hell. The hook that Pharrell Williams dropped on this shit, the hook that Pharrell Williams in The Dream dropped on this shit, it just seemed forced, bro. It just seemed forced, bro. Something about it just seemed forced, bro. It just didn't go collectively. It didn't go collectively how it should. It kind of felt like a piece together type of thing. And this was one of the tracks that rubbed me the wrong way when I heard the hook. It was one of the tracks that just rubbed me the wrong way when I heard it. And I was like, I give this track a 7 because of the non-cohesiveness of the hook. The hook throw me off a little bit, and this is one of the ones I will skip just because of the hook, straight up. But I give this track a 7. This might be the worst track on the whole album, for real, to me. And it's still a good song. Just the hook, bro. For real, I had to do a double take on this one because the hook just wasn't hooking, you know? So the next one, let's see. Where we at with it? Mike Tyson, Blow to the Face, otherwise MTBTTF. Now this record right here, damn near might be my favorite record on here for personal reasons. Pusha T starts off this record with one of the greatest imitation flows of B.I.G. I've heard in a while. And the only other person I've heard really replicate that flow like that is Game. Bro. That's the only other person I've heard replicate the flow so well. Like the whole thing just got that. He nailed that. Push nailed that Biggie cadence to a T. All pun intended. He nailed that Biggie cadence to a T. All pun intended. For real. And another reason I like this song so much is Malice's introspection on his verses is amazing, bro. Like his introspective flows on his verse. He really, I said it in my review of So Be It, but he really, when it comes to depth, he got better depth than Pusha T on tracks. Just straight up. He got better depth than Pusha T on tracks, bro. For real. Like he really, he get to the point quicker than Pusha T on tracks, bro. Like straight up. Like Malice, you could tell he almost like the older brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people forget Malice always kind of been like the better one. You know what I'm saying? People don't even remember Malice was on grinding, bro. For real. From ghetto to ghetto back, bro, yeah. Like Malice has that mind, bro. For real, for real. People sleep on him because he's the more laid back one. You know what I'm saying? He's not very chauvinistic. He's not very out in front of your face. But when he get to talking, his ass it get deep, bro. It get deep. I like his introspection more than anything on this whole album. For real, for real, for real. But this Mike Tyson blow to the face, 10 out of 10. It's probably my favorite song on here. For real, for real. It just hooked with me. Anytime, I don't know, I might be biased, but anytime I hear that Biggie reference, and the beat got the warning vibes to it. Damn, why they trying to stick me for my paper? It got that whole vibe going on for it. So it's definitely one of my higher ranked songs on the whole album for sure. But we're gonna move on. I guess in these next 3 song segments of the album, they was going with acronyms for the titles, because the next song is called EBITDA. I'm not sure what that even means, but uh Pharrell does a very noticeable thing. He starts the song off with a verse of his own. He starts the song off with a verse of his own. And I think he kind of recognized in the track listing, in all things considered, that he made a little boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? He made a little boo-boo in that, all things considered. And he's like, you know what? Let me start this track off straight up and just put a verse. No hook. No hook. So Pharrell comes in, he puts his own little hook on there, and it goes crazy. And it goes crazy. It goes crazy, for sure. It goes crazy. But what really bothered me the most is that y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Is that, did he reference Takeoff passing before Young Thug? Did he make a song about Takeoff passing before Young Thug did? Y'all go listen to the song and y'all see, since Young Thug has been out of jail, has he made a record referencing Takeoff at all? Y'all let me know. That's the punchline. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. The song I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Great production. Good bounce back by Pharrell, because you was about to lose me. You was just about to lose me. But the next song is another acronym song, FICO. Now, for this song, they got a dude that not too many people know, Stove God Cooks. Stove God Cooks. So Stove God Cooks, if y'all don't know, was mentored by Busta Rhymes, and he's also an affiliate of Griselda Records. He's also an affiliate of Griselda Records. Now, this hook on here is so crazy. And it's not like very layered or nothing like that. It's provocative. It gets the people going, for real, for real. He said, my shooter turn you inside out. Fresh Prince jacket, turn you in. Oh my God, y'all gotta hear it, man. It's the cadences, man. It's the cadences with these songs, bro. I can't do it no justice like on the song, but bro, go back and listen to it. It's called FICO. Pusha T does a thing on here too, where he play with your mind. The first few bars of the song, he got you thinking, like, okay, when he gonna say the word FICO? You get what I'm saying? He rhymes maybe like 12 to 14 bars before he ever says FICO, for real. And in your mind, it's like, when's it coming? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you gonna say it? When we gonna get to the, and he does that. It's very brilliant, because it's an anticipation, and it keep you listening until you hear the titular, am I saying that word right? The titular word of the song. the title of the song. Yeah, this one next to Mike Tyson Blow to the Face was probably my second favorite. My second favorite. And then the third will probably be Chains and Whips with Kendrick. But let's move on. Then they get to another track, Inglorious Bastards. And this part of the record is kind of like where you can kind of tell it's getting towards an end. You can kind of tell they're getting towards an end of the record because everything, another amazing beat, everything in the beat is kind of like jazzy and funky, almost where it's like switching of a time. They switching from the more 808 pump heavy to more of a like, you know what I'm saying, some jazz, some G-funk type thing going on. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real player at this time. And what I think about this record is Pusha T did very well on her, but Malice had one of the best verses of the whole album on a reunion track with his homeboy Ad Liver. If y'all don't know who Ad Liver is, look up Re-Up Gang. Look up Re-Up Gang. Ad Liver was one of the members of Re-Up Gang. It was a four-man group they had that was aligned with the Clipse. And Ad Lib is no slouch either. He had a good verse on here. He kind of remind me of a mix of Dave East and like Method Man or something. He's decent. You know, he kind of got the deeper baritone voice compared to their high pitches. But Malice's pen was very filthy on this record. Like he annihilated both of them on this track for sure, for sure. This probably was Malice's best verse next to maybe the song after the next one. But for sure, this is a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. So on this next record, So Far Ahead, this goes back to say to the All Things Considered. I know I keep going back to the All Things Considered because that one, it left a bad taste in my mouth, bro. Pause if necessary. But I feel like Pharrell felt the same way. So this record has a very bravado, very braggadocious type vibe from Pharrell where he's going through how, just how he explains how he's so far ahead. He's on another futuristic type of vibe than everybody else. You get what I'm saying? So Pharrell is very, 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 very bravado on here, on his hook. And the hook actually matches. The hook actually matches. Yeah, my fault. Camera died. But yeah, Pharrell does his thing on there. And it really does make up for, all things considered, it does make up for the last track he just did. But I think this is another track where Malice, and I know I'm on the Malice train heavy towards the end of the album. He's really at the end, Malice really start to take off on his verses, bro. Like he really he starts taking the fuck off on his verses. Lyrically, you gotta really dissect the lyrics he's saying. He gets deep, very in detail with the shit he's saying. For real, you gotta go listen to it, bro. So Far Ahead, I'll give this one a, I'll say a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. Very, very decent. Malice is doing a lot of carrying. Pusha T's verses are wonderful too. But it's just, you can see the difference. You can really see the difference. And that gets us to our next track, which is, this is a controversial take. The Let God Sort 'Em Out Chandeliers song. And here's my thing with this. I felt like, and it's gonna be a crazy take. I felt like maybe, just maybe, instead of the guest feature they did have on her, They should have just put like Jay-Z. Like, they should have just put Jay-Z. Because here's what happens. In the Let God Sort 'Em Out version, which is the first half of the song, the Let God Sort 'Em Out version is Pusha T and Malice going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And once again, this is this whole little side of the album. Malice is kind of getting the best of Pusha T on this back and forth. Pusha T's holding his own, of course, but that part of the song is it's uphill, 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 uphill. It's on a certain type of rhythm. You get what I'm saying? It's on a certain type of rhythm. When we get to the beat switch, which is Chandeliers, and also the last word of the stanza before Pusha T and Malice and No Malice stops rapping, we get to the guy just stepping in from the Chandeliers, Nas. And I'm gonna tell you, his first few bars, he could have just stopped rapping after that. Because it was facts. He made a way for a lot of rappers, was what he said basically in so many words. He paved the way for these new age rappers. He's correct. But everything after that, just the delivery, the cadence, for his high level of MC that he is, it just wasn't that impressive. It wasn't that impressive. Maybe it's like Nas's style or something. But I'll say this is a 7. A 7. Nas. This is a 7 Nas. This sounds like Nas just went in the studio and just started talking. You know what I'm saying? And it's still good. It's still good. It's still some truth to what he was saying. It's still good. But it wasn't what I was hoping for. It really wasn't what I was hoping for, bro. I was expecting some God, like a God verse. Cause you know how Jay-Z, when you get one of those type of people on the record, and then they do something monumental, they make moments. They make moments, bro. Like what Kendrick did on Chains and Whips, he made a moment, bro. He made a moment, bro. For real. He made a moment. And the first part of the song is amazing, bro. The first part of the song is amazing. I was more impressed with Pusha T and Malice's verse than Nas's verse. And that sounds crazy. So I don't know if they were supposed to have a Jay-Z feature, but when I heard Nas, it was just like, I'm thinking the cadence is gonna be there, and that was one of that and all things considered was just two slip ups that would have made this whole album a masterpiece. And it is in its own right, but I felt like those little tweaks, those little breaks can make or break a classic album. They can just make or break a classic album. And I felt, y'all can chew me up in the comments, just whatever. But that's just my opinion of it. I feel like Nas could have went harder. I feel like Nas could have gave a little bit more oomph in his verse. That's all. So I think I'm missing one track, but we're gonna just go to the finale. We're gonna get to the finale. Grace of God. This was the final answer I needed to figure out if Pharrell had that bad taste in his mouth from All Things Considered. He really shows the fuck off on Grace of God, bro. He just shows the fuck off on her, bro. For real. He shows his ass on that hook. When I want it. Bro, I'm telling you. For real, he shows off, bro. He shows his off. For real, very orchestral, and it ties into the intro perfectly. Just how the intro, Birds Don't Sing, has that choir type vibe. This one also has that orchestral exiting like you just walked out of the church sermon. You know what I'm saying? Has that same vibe. And it gives me the vibe as if Scarface had an ending where Tony Montana survived. You know what I'm saying? If Scarface had an ending where Tony Montana actually survived, it really give you that perspective that the dope boy wins, he doesn't go to jail, doesn't get killed, he becomes successful. Even after looking in Malice, another one, I have to say it again, Malice has the best perspective of the whole rundown of what I'm saying right now. He said visions of looking through the window, that's my mirror reflection. I was like, bruh, like when he's basically saying when I went to go see my homies in jail, he's looking at himself in the mirror. But instead of his self, he's seeing it's his homies. But at the same time, it's what he could have been. Malice does a perfect imagery of the whole thing. And the song ends perfectly. Made it through it all, bro. By the grace of God. The hook is like that you didn't see so many empires fall and you made it through it all by the grace of God. It's very fitting, bro. It's very fitting. And it's a great message to live by. You know what I'm saying? Like even though you done all this wrong and sinned all in your life, you actually made it to a point where you can look off your sunset roof and balcony in Paris and be like, I made it when a lot of people who were underneath me couldn't get to this point, all by the grace of God. It's a wonderful album, bro. It's a wonderful album, bro. They showed their ass off on this one, bro. Besides those two little hiccups, man. Just those two little hiccups, bro. All things considered, the hook, I would have shelved that. Put somebody else on that hook. And that Nas feature, man, like, come on, somebody got to talk to Nas about something, bro, for real. Like, bro, this is a moment we trying to make here. You know what I'm saying? It's a moment we trying to make here. Nas, you gotta push the gear up a little further. But all in all, I'll say let God sort him out is a solid 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 out of 10. Would have been a 10 out of 10 if they would have just fixed those two tweaks. Very, 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 very little. Very, very little. Very minuscule, but fix those two tweaks. And we got a 10 out of 10. For real. Very classic album. Very, very high replayability. High replayability. I'd say this album, and we're not gonna put GNX in there. GNX came out last year, so we're not doing that again. Okay, Kendrick had his time. They're gonna say I'm a Kendrick fanboy. We keep doing that. I'll say this album and Lloyd Banks album. They banging for albums of the year, for sure. Maybe Drake can put something out with this Iceman, and we'll have a little competition. To be continued. Y'all let me know what y'all feel like down there in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.